Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, look at I can do this now. I know how to do this. Do. There we go. Love it, love it. Okay. Welcome to May, welcome to Monday, welcome to a new moon. Ooh, lots going on in the world. Anybody else feeling it? Yeah. Well, allow me to introduce myself if you haven't met me before. Susan Lazar Hart, your congruency coach for creatives, for seekers who are asking for more in their life, who are asking, how do I create a life that I love? Well, if that's you, you've come to the right place. This is all about congruent living. And I'd love to introduce you to some few tools that we actually do use every day in the Congruent Living Academy and with the creation of the Congruent Life Method. So I put a poll up in the Congruent Living Facebook. A lot of congruent living's going on. And the question was, what stops you when you've got a goal, you've got a task, you've got a target, and you know you want to, it's like, yes. And then all of a sudden you find yourself pulled by somebody, something, someone, pulled by your imagination, pulled by the shiny object syndrome, whatever that is for you. If that's you, yeah, I'd like to see a heart or a something up there, because I know that's a big one. That's in our poll. That's the one that popped the most was when I asked in the poll, what stops you from making progress? And the answer was, Susan, I find myself getting distracted by other tasks. It's like I start off with a clear intention. Yeah, sound familiar? And then something else grabs my attention. Before I know it, I've veered off course. Well, my question for you would be, there's a lot of questions here, so grab your journals, grab your papers, pencils, whatever it is for you. This is kind of weird. It looks, maybe that's better. My question for you would be, is this something you really want to create? Now, I heard this recently and it made so much sense. A goal or target is what you choose on your way to creating a life that you love. So here's your vision. Here's your vision. What goals, what targets do I need to put in place in order for me to get to where I'm asking to go? So the goal is not the end. It's like I think of it as soccer. It's the end zone, but it's not the end for you. And that's why I often say with your target or your goal, whatever word resonates for you, know that it's not the end. It's a way for you to chunk it down into doable steps to create a life you love, to create that vision that you're asking for. So we're going to dive in today. It could be the classic shiny object syndrome. How many of you were taught it's okay to multitask? Keep going. Well, no. One of the things I found for myself, as someone who's a neurodivergent, as someone who is a manifesting generator, it is that there's always going to be so much out there for me, right? And if that's you, again, put a heart or a thumbs up in the comments below. It's about asking yourself, what would I truly love to create? Then focus in on it, right? So doesn't become a struggle, it becomes a question. It's the thing is, with the advent of the iPhone or the smartphone or the stupid phone, whatever you want to call it, and the internet, we've trained our brains to get bored really easily. It's like click, 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 click. And so you can train your brain to stay focused, or you can train your brain to demand something else, something else, something else, something else. So my question for you right now is, what is it that you're asking for of yourself, your body, your vision, your brain? And let's explore some strategies, right? Let's explore. That's what we're doing today. We're exploring some strategies. So the first one is to set clear priorities. One of the main reasons we get sidetracked is because we actually haven't defined our priorities. So I'm going to ask you to take some time, write down, what are your targets? And which one is the most important one for you to move the needle on right now? Rank them all in order of significance. The clarity will help you stay focused on what truly matters. So when I was reading this wonderful book, Breaking Free, which you can find on Amazon, I made a date with myself. and someone else to meet every Thursday. And with that meeting every Thursday, I knew I had to have a chapter done, a chapter done, a chapter done. Because, sorry, there's something funny here. There we go. Because the priority for me was to get the book out before 2024. That was a priority for me. I knew exactly why I was writing the book, who I was writing the book for, which is seekers and creatives who are asking, how do I break free and how do I break it down so that I can actually create a life that I love? And so with that in mind, I knew what that would create for me in the vision of how I want to live my life and how I want to create my life with my clients as a coach, as a transformational mindset coach, as somebody who keeps adding to this buffet of tools. I knew that breaking free was a tool that I could add to my buffet in offering, working with the Academy, in working with my clients one-on-one. And so know your priorities. If it's a priority for you, make that demand of yourself, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it takes. I'm going to block some time in. So that's the second thing, is use time blocking. Write it down before you go to bed at night. What does my day look like tomorrow? When am I going to be blocking off time to work on this priority? When you start to tell your brain and your body, and this is important to me, you're going to create a life and living that will match that vibration of what it is that you're asking to create for yourself. Because when you create a life you love for yourself, it's like the ripple in the pond. It just expands out and out and out and out. And that's what I want for you. I want you to have something, as Mary Oliver says, this is your one true precious life. That's what I want for you, is to enjoy it. We came here to love. We came here to be. We came here to create. So, number one, set your priorities. What's one thing you want to accomplish in the next month? Write it down. Number two, let's block some time for it. When am I going to actually get this done? And I don't want to hear you don't have time. Sorry, time isn't real. Get up earlier, say no to the blah, blah, blah on Netflix, whatever that is. How many of us sit with our phone and we just watch, all of a sudden it's 45 minutes. Well, what could you have been doing with that focused amount of time? Block it in. Honor that commitment to you. So, once again, prioritize, block off the time, honor your commitment to you by creating a distraction-free environment. That means you shut off the bells and whistles. You find a space that you actually love working in, wherever that is. So you're minimizing external distractions by setting your workspace up in a way that promotes focus. Focus. The brain loves focus. There have been studies with, if you're trying to do 4 or 5 things all at once and you're wondering why nothing gets done, it's because our brain wasn't created for that. Focus, one step at a time. Turn off your notifications, declutter, don't spend time decluttering. If you haven't, if you've been playing with me the last month, go to our YouTube. I think Susan Lazar Coaching. And I'll put the link up here, and catch up on decluttering. How many people say, well, I'll focus when I can. No, forget about it. We're moving on, right? Establish boundaries to protect your time with you. Let people know, nope, sorry. I'm not free from here to here. Don't pick up the phone. Don't follow somebody else's something or other. Be present with you. Are you willing to commit to you? Big question. So we're talking about time blocking. Schedule dedicated blocks of time focused for you. Remember, a goal or a target is your gift to you on your way to creating a life you love, to your vision. Right? During this time, eliminate non-essential tasks. Commit fully to this task. So this technique of committing, even if it's for 10 minutes every day, all of a sudden it's like, oh, that felt kind of good. Maybe I could do it in 20. Or maybe 10 is that's perfect. That's all I require. This technique helps you focus. And it helps you focus with mindfulness because you're cultivating your thoughts and impulses by being present. When you notice yourself getting pulled away from your target or your goal, gently redirect your attention back to the present moment and the task you're working on. No judgment, no shame, no blame, no regret. Zoop. Yep. Some people have a timer on their watch. I forget, there's a certain system, I don't know what it's called, where you work for 20 minutes and you have a timer. Whatever works for you, right? Know that by the end of the evening, the day, the next morning, how do I want to feel? That's what I do when I start to put something aside. I'm like, okay, put it aside. Now it's the end of the evening. You're about to go to bed. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about yourself? Is there any judgment here? And I indulge in that. And I'm like, oh, crap. Okay, I don't want to feel like that. So get her done. Get her done. Break your tasks into small steps. Right? So we're prioritizing. We're time blocking. We're creating a distraction-free environment, and then we're breaking it down into small, manageable tasks and tackle them one at a time. This approach makes progress feel more achievable and it reduces the likelihood of getting derailed. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share with you some fascinating insights about actually how the brain works when it comes to learning and focus. Did you know that our brain strengthens and consolidates memories of things it encounters regularly and frequently? It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Hi, Veronica. This is where constant spaced repetition comes in. By revisiting information regularly at set intervals over time, we deliberately hack the way our brain working, make learning more effective and retention long-lasting. So if you say to yourself, okay, at whatever that time that is for you. So for myself, as soon as I wake up, I go through my Akashic records, or I'll do a meditation, or I'll listen to something transformational that has to do with meditating and being present with me. That's my commitment to me. And so when I don't do it, now I've been doing it for about a year. When I don't do that, it's like there's something missing. My brain is requiring that peace and calm to start off my day. Same thing with going for a walk in the morning. Constant spaced repetition. If I don't go for a walk in the morning, if I say, oh, I'll go later, it ain't going to happen. I know me. It could, but I know if I'm committed to me, with constant spaced repetition and focus, how I start my day is how my day begins. That's one of my biggies. So it's about deliberately letting my brain know, and body and being, letting what I'm creating know. No, sorry, first things first. And then as I approach my day and some priorities I've set out, I'm feeling really good about me. So give that a try and let me know what you think, because I want to encourage you to reflect on the distractions that are derailing your progress. So here's a little sidebar. How much do we use those distractions as reasons and justifications for not moving forward in our life and our living? And then I might ask you, what's the value of that? That's the kind of, when I say reach out to me for a heartfelt conversation, that's the kind of conversation that we play with, that we investigate with. When people say, I don't know why I can't get this, and this done, let's break it down. What are your priorities? What's your environment like? How are you setting up your wins, right? Are you willing to appreciate how far you have come just to be able to have this kind of a conversation? It's a place of vulnerability. So by implementing these strategies and making a conscious effort to stay focused, you can reclaim your time and energy for what truly matters. Remember, every small step brings you closer to creating a life you love. Kind of sounds good, right? Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be gone for 2 weeks, but I'm going to be pre-taping for you. So we'll continue this discussion and hop into the poll if you haven't. I'm going to take the next one that was the most popular, and I'll be addressing that next week in how do I create a life that I love? How do I go beyond just having goals and targets? What does that look like? And what's stopping you? I wonder. This is all about creating a life you love, coming from the inside out. So until we meet again, live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be. A fearless leader is willing to set down their priorities and to commit to creating a life they love. Nothing stops them. And I know that nothing stops you except you. Been there, am there, done that, live it. That's what I love about the congruent living method and coaching. It's living. It's a living method of getting close and closer to creating a life you love with ease, with joy, and with love. If you have any questions, pop them in here. If you are coming in later, #replay. I do check in every day, and I will as I'm traveling as well. Have an amazing one. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.